Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about building or buying a home, as that is the biggest question so many of my customers have here in 2025 and moving into 2026. So we're going to go into in great detail pros and cons and also processes for both strategies. So it's very important. If you're considering this question, go ahead and watch this video. So we're also going to be talking about spec home builds versus custom builds, and then resale. What does the market look like? So we're going to dive into that, and I'm so looking forward to it. Hi, I'm Charlie Peterson, real estate agent here in the North Orlando area with Keller Williams. We have a mission, a part of the Peterson Group, to help be faith-based advisors for those who are looking to solve for peace in their homeownership journey. And part of solving for peace in your homeownership journey is learning all about the area you're moving to and the processes of buying a home / selling a home. So if you have questions on any of that, make sure you reach out to us here on the phone number on the screen. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be posting weekly videos for you to get more information on making a confident decision for your home move. Before we dive into the actual comparisons of them, let's set the scene for the North Orlando market. North Orlando, think of cities like Winter Park, Maitland, Lake Mary, Sanford, DeLand, even all the way out to New Smyrna Beach. All of these areas have a very differing market. Lots of new construction boom towns going on in the Volusia area. Covered that in a previous video, talked about boom towns here in the Orlando market. And then we also want to take into consideration areas that too don't have a lot of new builds going on, where the market's behaving totally different. Kind of like the Winter Park area, where if new build is happening, it's because they're tearing down old homes or they're buying up vacant lots at extreme premiums. So we're going to be kind of looking into the way that the market shifts and holds. Now, also moving into the next section, we're talking about custom builds. My wife and I are in the middle of that process ourselves. And let me tell you, there's a lot that goes into it that may not meet the eye up front. And so we're going to dive into that next. All right, so what to expect when building a home. Now, building a home has a few different options. And one thing that I really want to keep in consideration here, when you're building a home, whether it is a new construction spec home or it is a custom build, you're probably going to be paying a premium for that home. The newness of it, the cheaper insurance costs, the hurricane codes, the more up-to-date for safety and hurricane double pane windows, so forth, can cause a premium. Now, not only just because of the newness of it, but also because of, if you're going for a spec home, maybe at lower in the price point, builders are charging premiums for that because they're also offering incentives like low interest rates or covering all kinds of closing costs. So you have to bring little money to the table to close. So think of new as a premium sale. Now, that can also be on the flip side too in the resale market, but we'll cover that in just a minute. All right, so let's talk about the process of buying a new home or building a new home. So one, you're going to be looking for finding the right lot and then budgeting for that lot. Now, lots can vary in location here in the North Orlando area. Prices of lots. Think of where things are fully developed and there's not a lot of space left. Think of like Winter Park. Those lots are going for a premium. Now, you might be able to go to DeLand in New Smyrna Beach, where you could find a 2.5 acre lot for $200,000. Usually those were $100,000 or $50,000 just 10 years ago, but now they're soaring and the demand for them is increasing significantly. So you're gonna wanna find the right lot. You're also gonna go through design and plans. If this is a new home community where they've got lots of options for you to pick from, this is a little bit easier of a process. They've already done all the engineering, they've already done everything for you. You just get to kind of walk in and choose what kind of colors and finishes you want. If you're gonna go custom build, you're gonna have to talk about getting into an engineer, you have to talk about architect fees, and those should not be underestimated. Engineering fees can cost $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or more just to get a set of plans engineered. You could prepay for a set of plans, maybe from an architect, but here in the state of Florida, we do need engineered sign-offs on that. So really look into that, prepare yourself ahead of time. All right, so the next process is going to be the construction time frame. Again, if this is a new home build community, oftentimes they have a lot of spec homes to choose from. And those spec homes could be done, and they could be ready right now for you. Typically, those are going to be on the lower price point homes, or if you're in a higher price point home community, typically those are going to be done here in just maybe a few months at the earliest. Now, if you're going to be custom building, that's a totally different story. like I said, my wife and I are actually in the middle of this, and we have underestimated. We need to develop a small road to get to the lot where we were building. And you would think developing a gravel road 600 feet is nothing. Maybe we could even call it a driveway. Not the case in this situation. So we have delayed ourselves by almost 8 months here in our custom home build, and looks like we might even be spending a little bit more time. Now, once the construction starts, we're also anticipating 12 to 15 months there. So custom building is significantly longer than building with a new home construction builder who has a big community and they've got plans in place already. Wide range of timing. If you're going with a new home builder in a big community, typically a lot faster than custom home building. Now, warranties and builder support are going to vary widely amongst the builders, but typically what you'll find is a total 1-year warranty with most builders, with them covering absolutely everything, unless you just did something like punch a hole through the drywall or anything like that. They're not going to cover things like that, but anything total for 1 year, and then foundationally, structurally for 5 to 10 years. So that's just kind of a quick run through the building process. Now let's talk about buying an existing resale home, and I'm going to cover some of the biggest things that not many people are really thinking about in this market when it pertains to buying resale versus new construction. Now, one thing to really consider when buying a resale home, and if you're considering new construction, look at that new construction community that you're considering buying in and see if there's any resale homes in there. Oftentimes, and in my experience, the resale homes will be at a much cheaper price, but you won't get super low interest rates or closing costs from resales. But if equity is really important, go for the resale home. If low interest rate and closing costs is really important to you, go for the brand new. Really varies in market to market, but that is a big theme that I am seeing. Builders can't sell the price that they're asking unless they give low interest rates and closing costs. Be really wary of that. All right, so on the resale side, let's talk about that process real quick. We'll work on, of course, making sure you get pre-approved. But beyond that, we're going to talk about house hunting and inspections. We're going to really look into where is it that you want to be. Do you want to be in an area that's fully mature? Do you want to be in an area that's maybe a master plan community with a guard gate at the front? Do you want something that has a little bit more security presence with a patrol car? Do you want a golf community? There are so many different resale options to choose from, and really you can get a better deal on some of these than you would new construction or custom building. Once we find the right home, we're going to talk about due diligence. This looks a little bit different than when buying a new home. When you buy a resale home, you're going to want to make sure that major mechanical items are in good working order. Think of roof, think of HVAC, plumbing, electrical. We're going to go through a due diligence inspection period here. And we're also going to look through and make sure, hey, do you want to use this home as half commercial, half primary residence? Do you want to use it as short-term rental? What do you want to do? And we're going to make sure all of that zoning conforms to the use that you want it for. Now we're going to talk about negotiation and repairs. With a resale home, you have more negotiation leverage right now, as we're kind of between a seller's and buyer's market where it's not as active as it used to be. So you might be able to negotiate some repairs that you find during inspections. And with a builder, you're really not going to have a lot of negotiation, but there also shouldn't be a ton of repairs to do up front. Now, once you buy a resale home, you have the option to move in or renovate. Let's say you got a good deal on the home and you wanted to remodel everything. You might want to take that in consideration. You'll have to plan housing to have room either to live in the renovation or to have 2 homes for a period of time while the other home is being renovated. Now, with resale homes, typically what you'll find, unless everything major has been taken care of for you, you might have some ongoing maintenance to really plan for ahead of time on a shorter time frame than you would with a brand new home. Think of items like roof, HVAC, plumbing and electrical. Budget for those accordingly. All right, so overall, let's talk about this real quick. The pros and the cons. Pros and cons for going for new construction. You've got a new home, maybe you got a low interest rate and closing costs paid for, versus a resale home. Maybe you got a little bit better of a deal. You've got something that maybe has more mature landscaping, closer to different amenities and entertainment. But we're also going to be looking at the cons on each. Cons for new construction is going to be probably time frame for moving in, paying a premium on the purchase price compared to a resale home, and then also maybe not mature landscaping, maybe a little bit further out for new homes, or paying a premium to tear down and scrape and build a new home. So cost could be a con for new construction. Cons for resale homes. Cons on the resale home side really are going to be ongoing maintenance, the potential for having to budget for something to be done earlier than later, maybe even having to remodel something because it's not exactly new, or just thinking about maybe a higher insurance cost as well. So resale homes does have its cons as well. And really, my advice for you is let's create a strategy around what you're looking for so that we have hyper clarity on what to do for your resale search. One of the services that I highly recommend doing that we offer here is to create a strategy session around your home search so that we'll create a tailor-fit game plan around what would be perfect for you, and we can help guide you in that direction rather than just being kind of up in the air in what you're looking for. Let's talk about budget and cash cushion. If you don't have a ton of cash cushion, then maybe resale or brand new construction where they offer incentives could be the right fit for you. Timeline and urgency. New construction could take a little bit longer than finding a resale home. Let's talk about desirability of customization. If you want to really customize the home that you're going to live in, maybe starting from scratch and doing a custom home is the right option to go for you. Maybe even buying a resale home and totally renovating it could be something that you're looking for. Finding out your desirability of customization is going to be crucial in this. Risk tolerance and long-term vision. So it could be a bit risky right now, in my opinion, to buy a brand new construction home where they're offering so many incentives for you. Because as an investor, they're really not looking to just give away something. So if they're really offering and throwing out these incentives to you, it's because they have to in order to get the home sold at the price that they're asking. Oftentimes you'll find those resale homes are cheaper than the prices that the builders are asking, but you're not going to get the incentives with the resale. So be really wary of that on the equity standing. Let's also talk about the location. The location, we should have a hyper clear idea of where you're looking to move, what's important to you, entertainment-wise, school district-wise, job, commute. Let's have a really good idea of where you're looking at to move in there. Now, also inspections and condition. Inspections, you get the ability to have more inspections with a resale home than you do with the new builders. But condition-wise, maybe the resale home has something that even an inspector can't find hidden behind walls. Insurance and code considerations too. Property insurance could be a lot cheaper with new construction because they meet all the new hurricane codes. And for resale homes, there's typically more risk involved for an insurance company, so they charge more premiums on that side. Those are just some quick things that I would consider if I were buying a new home, and I think you should too. So if you're considering buying resale home or new construction, we would love to help you out with that process. There's lots of pros and cons to consider, but use this video as a quick tool, a guide for you to help make that decision with more confidence. And of course, we would love to help you out. Just reach out to us on the phone number on the screen or at the email below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Really, thank you for watching this video. We'll see you on the next one.